Indigenous cultures have existed on the Australian continent for more than 40,000 years. However, as far as the Australian Constitution is concerned, Indigenous Australians do not exist. Did you know there are more references to lighthouses in the Commonwealth Constitution than there are to Indigenous Australians, who aren't mentioned or referenced even once? Why is this a problem, and how do we fix it? Let's find out. So what does the Constitution say at the moment? While Indigenous Australians aren't recognised or referred to by the Constitution does refer to race. Firstly, in Section 25, which allows states to ban people from voting in state elections based on their race. And secondly, in Section 51(26), or the racist power, which is a constitutional head of power that grants Parliament the power to pass laws that treat people differently based on their race. But what's a head of power? Parliament can't make laws about whatever topic it wants. Heads of power are the parts of the Constitution that state what Parliament has the right to make laws about. For example, Parliament can make laws about marriage, defence and quarantine, because all of these are listed as heads of power in the Constitution. And so because there is a racial power in the Constitution, Parliament can make laws about Indigenous Australians. So what's wrong with the racist power? The problem is that Parliament isn't restricted to only passing laws that benefit Indigenous Australians. In a famous High Court case called Kanye in the Commonwealth, the racist power allowed the government to construct on sacred Indigenous land without their permission. This was because the racist power is drafted in a way that also allows laws that disadvantage Indigenous Australians. So, because of our current racist power, discrimination against Indigenous Australians is legal. But how do we fix the Constitution? Solutions are numerous and evolving, but current recommendations include deleting Section 25 to stop states from banning Indigenous people from voting, deleting the racist power so the government can't make laws that disadvantage Indigenous Australians, and then inserting a new racist power, Section 51A, which will firstly acknowledge Indigenous Australians as the first peoples of our nation, and secondly replace the current racist power with a new reworded power that only allows Parliament to make beneficial laws about Indigenous Australians. But why not just get rid of the racist power altogether? The racist power can't simply be removed because many laws that advance Indigenous people, such as native title, are valid because Parliament passed them under the racist power. If we simply deleted the racist power, all these beneficiary laws would be invalid. So, the current racist power needs to be deleted and then replaced, so that the Parliament can still make beneficial laws for Indigenous Australians in the future. And lastly, insert a new section, Section 116A. This will expressly prohibit negative discrimination against any race and only allow laws that positively discriminate on the basis of race, such as laws that protect cultural heritages. Did you know it's been almost 50 years since the 1967 referendum on Indigenous Australians? Will it take another 50 years for Indigenous Australians to be constitutionally recognised? And what are the alternative options? Find out more in our upcoming video.